During the time of Imam Shafi'i rahmatullahi alayhi, a person didn't have children. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala granted him a daughter after a long time. And he became so excited and he became so much overwhelmed with happiness that he said, Wallahi, by Allah, he took an oath. He said, Wallahi, by Allah, I take oath of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that the day my daughter gets married and she leaves my home to go to her husband's home, I will give my daughter the wealth of this world and the wealth of the hereafter. It is like that person who was mentioned by Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the hadith regarding Tawbah, that he became so excited and so happy that he didn't know what he was saying. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, instead of saying, Allahumma anta rabbi wa ana abduk, oh Allah, you are my Rabb and I am your servant. Because of excitement, he said, Allahumma anta abdi wa ana rabbuk. Oh Allah, you are my servant and I am your Rabb. So this person became overwhelmed with happiness and he said, the day my daughter gets married and she leaves my home to go to her husband's home, I will give her the wealth of this world and the hereafter. A poor person living in a small town, small village, who was barely earning to feed his family, took this oath without knowing what he was saying in the excitement of happiness. Days passed. The thought used to cross his mind. Eventually the day came when the daughter was getting married. He became worried a few days before the rukhsati, before the departure of the daughter. So he went to the fuqaha. This was the time of Imam Shafi'i rahimahullah ta'ala. And every faqih, he said, whoever he went to, any alim, any faqih that he went to, he said that this is a qasam that you will not be able to fulfill. Because you will not be able to give your daughter the wealth of this world and the wealth of the hereafter. So your qasam will be broken. You will have to let your daughter go to her husband's house without you giving her the wealth of this world and the wealth of the hereafter. Your qasam will be broken. Give kafara. But my friends, it was a good time. Good time for those people who were concerned about the hereafter. He continued to go to various muftis and ulama, not to find ease in the situation. He was not worried about giving a few kilos of grain in kafara. No, he wasn't worried about that. He did not go to various muftis with the objective that we go with. That this mufti is a bit strict, so let me go and see another fatwa. He has not given the fatwa that I was looking for. So let's try another Darul Ifta. No, he was concerned about the hereafter and he was trying his utmost not to break the qasam. Because breaking the qasam was seen a very heinous crime in those days. So he was going to various muftis that, is there any way out of this for me? That I do not break my qasam. He eventually went to Imam Shafi'i rahimahullah ta'ala. Totally despondent and hopeless, because everybody is saying there is no way out. Imam Shafi'i rahmatullahi alayhi said that delay the rukhsati, delay the wedding. Delay the wedding and give yourself and your daughter enough time for her to acquire the ulum of Quran. Find a good teacher for her. Good teacher who is able to give her the ulum of Quran, the sciences of Quran, the knowledge of Quran. 6 months, 1 year, 1.5 years, 2 years. Give her the ulum of Quran, and when she completes the ulum of Quran, give her a copy of the Quran. And then let her depart. You will not have to give kafara. Because what you have given her is better than the wealth of this world and the hereafter. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. This is Quran, my friends. This is Quran. Half an hour from our 1/48th of the day, 1/48th of the day, half an hour. Let us set aside for the Quran. We have set aside time for every activity. For factory we have set aside time. For tea we have set aside time. For lunch, for supper, for sleep, for shower. For everything we have set aside time. Let us set aside time for this book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Let us attach ourselves to this book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If we attach ourselves to this book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, my friends, then we will see the same period that the Sahaba Kiram Ridwanullahi ta'ala had seen, the period of honor, the period of dignity. Allah will elevate us. Inna Allah ta'ala yarfa'u bihadal kitabi aqwama. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala elevates through this book people. Allah elevates people through this book. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala elevates the ummah collectively through this book if the ummah collectively attaches itself to this book. And if the ummah collectively does not attach itself to this book, then any individual who has attached himself individually to the book, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has elevated him. Shaykhul Hadith Maulana Zakaria Sahib rahmatullahi alayhi, Hakimul Ummat Maulana Ashraf Ali Thanvi rahmatullahi alayhi, Hazrat Maulana Ilyas Sahib rahmatullahi alayhi, Hazrat Shah Waliullah Sahib Muhaddis Dehlavi rahmatullahi alayhi, Hazrat Maulana Rashid Ahmad Gangohi rahmatullahi alayhi, Hazrat Maulana Hussain Ahmad Madani rahmatullahi alayhi. In this period, an era of degeneration, when Muslims have turned their faces away from the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, these individuals on individual basis attach themselves to the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala elevated their name during their life and after their demise also. This is the quality of this book, my friends. Whoever attaches himself to this book, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will definitely elevate him. Inna Allah ta'ala yarfa'u bihadha al-kitabi aqwama. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala elevates people through this book. But we have to attach ourselves to this book sincerely. We have to revere this book. Usman ibn Zaida, rahimahullah ta'ala, a great personality. It is said regarding him that whenever Quran was being recited in his presence, then he would close his mouth, he would close his eyes, and he would look down and pay attention only to the Quran. When asked why you do this, he said that when Quran is being recited, I do not want my tongue or my eyes or any part of my body to get involved in any other activity except that my ears are listening to the Quran of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He would shut himself up. Nowadays when we are reciting, when we are listening to the recitation of the Quran, we are listening to the recitation of the Quran and talking. Listening to the recitation of the Quran and looking around here and there. So our attention is in two directions. Usman ibn Zaida rahimahullah ta'ala used to shut himself up totally, and he says that it is disrespectful to pay attention to any other item when the Quran is being recited.